Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has arrived at the White House. It's his first visit to Washington, D.C. in 7 years. Defence is high on the agenda, with US President Donald Trump confirming that he'll sell advanced military jets to Saudi Arabia. But there is plenty more on the table for the two leaders to discuss. Well, Alan Fisher joins us now from the White House. He's been watching events unfold there over the last hour. Can you just run us through what's happened so far and what we're expecting to happen in the next little while?
Well, it was quite a spectacular welcome from Mohammed bin Salman, not something we've seen in recent memory here at the White House. He went to the south entrance. There he was greeted by a full military presence, very ornate, very elaborate, a 21-gun salute and a military flypast of 3 F-16 jets and also 3 F-35s. Now, that's quite significant because one of the things that Mohammed bin Salman is expected to do while he's here is sign a deal for Saudi Arabia to buy 48 of those F-35s, regarded as the most advanced fighter jet in the world. It will be the first sale ever to an Arab country, to a Gulf country, of these weapons, and somewhere in the region of $142 billion, perhaps the largest ever arms sale in United States history. The two leaders then walked along the colonnade, which has now become a presidential walk of fame. Starting with George Washington, obviously making all the way through the likes of Roosevelt, who was the first US president to guarantee Saudi Arabia security for oil, and then moving through Barack Obama and then Donald Trump. And then, of course, it should be Joe Biden. But what you see in the colonnade is the picture of an auto pen, something that Donald Trump has talked a great deal about Joe Biden not being present and his aides using the auto pen to sign many of his items that came across the Resolute desk. The pair are now moving in to the Oval Office. We know that they will get set, and then the pool will be invited in, and there'll be some comments from the President and from the Crown Prince, and hopefully a few questions. Among those who'll be going into the Oval Office is our own White House correspondent, Kimberly Halkett. She has a couple of questions up her sleeves that she hopes to ask. Then they will move on to a formal lunch. Mohammed bin Salman will leave. He'll head to Capitol Hill. There he'll meet senators and members of Congress before coming back to the White House this evening for a very formal dinner. The fact that there is this meeting, this arrival, which was incredibly spectacular, there is going to be this dinner this evening, just shows how important Donald Trump believes this meeting with Mohammed bin Salman and how important relationships with Saudi Arabia really are to this White House, to the United States and to the US economy.
Yeah, Ellen, this meeting, this visit, it all appears to be all about the deal, all about these billion-dollar deals. We know in the last 8 years that Saudi Arabia has already invested $170 billion into the US. The black tie dinner that you brought up just a little while ago, we understand that there's going to be a number of tech titans, business leaders there. This is also about getting everyone in the same room and continuing that investment into the US, isn't it?
That's right. Well, Donald Trump said the last visit by Mohammed bin Salman raised somewhere in the region of $450 billion in investment. It hasn't quite reached that figure, but he says this time round it's worth somewhere in the region of $600 billion. At the dinner this evening, and then there is an economic forum being held at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. The intention is that a lot of deals will be signed. Certainly details will be worked out and agreed so that deals can be signed. The Trump White House wants to see this become something concrete rather than just vague promises of investment. They want to see something more concrete being put on paper. We know that the Saudi Arabians have been investing heavily in the United States. It's all part of Mohammed bin Salman's 2030 vision for Saudi Arabia. He wanted to make sure that the country's economy was diversified away from the likes of oil and gas into other areas. They see the United States, the world's biggest economy, as an area to do this. They know their money will be welcome, but they're not doing it as an act of charity. They want to see a level of return, and they also want to take benefit back to Saudi Arabia from all these discussions. So this is a hugely important meeting for Donald Trump. A lot of the work's already been done. They know the boxes that they're going to tick, but it's also an important meeting for Saudi Arabia, for Mohammed bin Salman, and also for the Saudi economy.
Okay, thank you so much, Ellen. Ellen Fisher for us there at the White House.
Don't miss out the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.